What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, I want to talk about why I'm getting Marvel Cosmic Invasion. This is a video series I do where I talk about an upcoming game and talk about whether I'm getting it, not getting it, or I'm somewhere in between. For this game, I talk about it quite a bit when we look at the end of the year here. Really, it's a two-game race to the end. We have this game, of course, on December 1st. I'll go over some of the light details with you in a second. And then, of course, just a few days later, we have Metroid 4, which, oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm really excited for both. Okay, I'll make a video for Metroid as well. But this game looks incredible. Again, December 1st comes out pretty much anywhere under the sun. PS4, PS5, PC, all of the Xboxes, including Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and Nintendo Switch 2. This is a game that is not afraid to go back to systems that are 10 plus years old. But to be honest, it's not a game that's going to push anything crazy. It's a game that looks beautiful. The art style is one that I think immediately grabs you. I just think it's obviously a game that could run on a PS4 or a Switch 1. So one thing I want to talk about too in regards to the game is, of course, the developer. So you got Tribute Games that's making it, and if you don't know who they are, you can actually just quick search on Wikipedia. They make some incredible stuff. And while I'm really excited for the future for Scott Pilgrim EX, I've made a couple videos on that game. Scott Pilgrim versus the world, the game, the Ubisoft one back in the day, insanely good game. So to get another Scott Pilgrim beat 'em up is a gift sent from heaven, to be honest with you. So that game's coming out. They're working on that. I believe they're actually publishing that. They develop and publish games, and they've done that, periodically in their history. I think they haven't actually done that since 2020, and Scott Pilgrim is the next one. But they, of course, also develop games, and then they have a different publisher other than themselves publish the game. So, and also, if you don't remember these people at this company, they made Shredder's Revenge. So they've been on in terms of the games, they've been on a tear. Shredder's Revenge, Marvel Cosmic Invasion, Scott Pilgrim EX. If there's not a greater, 3-game arc for a beat 'em up, I don't know what is. So I'm excited. Well, Shredder's Revenge is unbelievable, and that really gives me a lot of confidence in this game, because I think that game honestly did a lot for the genre, whether it was the look, whether it was the feel, whether it was just kind of the tone and the vibe, like really setting it and saying, hey, we can make these type of games. And I know, look, it's a popular genre, and it's games that always kind of come out, but you have a lot of games that kind of come out and don't leave a mark, whereas I think Shredder's Revenge legitimately left a mark and still has left a mark. So that's kind of what I'm hoping the Cosmic Invasion can do versus, like, say, a Power Rangers, which I think it got there. As time went on, it was getting better, but it doesn't have the same impact as games like this. So Cosmic Invasion, of course, is coming out with 15 characters. You play as 2 of them at a time, right? You pick your main, and then you kind of have your secondary character. You swap through them. And one thing I can respect about this, on top of many reasons I can respect the game, just a kind of a wild cast. Like, you think about, like, Midnight Suns, I think, was an opportunity for them to tell, a different type of thing versus what we're getting in, like, modern movies or even modern games. A lot of modern games won't go as far out, I guess I would say, as Midnight Suns or this. And in terms of also the roster, like, you look at Midnight Suns' roster was quite unique. And same thing here. I mean, you have classic. You have Black Panther and Iron Man and Rocket, right? It's Spider-Man, of course, Venom. But I guess even something like Venom, like, there's something really special about that. Wolverine, and to see, that kind of style mixed with the art style is so cool. But then you also have things like Ghost Rider, Nova, Phoenix. These are characters that, and I would say, those aren't like the deepest. They actually, I feel like, have a couple more characters that are maybe deeper, but like Silver Surfer, or even, I would say, honestly, characters like Ghost Rider and Nova and stuff. Like, how often are you playing as these characters or even see them in video games, let alone, anything else? So I'm really impressed by kind of the range of roster, players that they have. And then I really feel like, from everything that we've seen, and remember, there is a demo. I've actually stayed away from the demo purposely so that I can just go, because I have trust. I have a lot of trust that this game is going to rock. It's not that I'm, like, afraid to play the demo or anything, but I feel like I don't need to. I feel like I'm going to enjoy the game quite a lot. But, I think the diversity is something that I'm really looking forward to. And you can even look at the early gameplay of Scott Pilgrim coming out next, right? That I think also illustrates that, where it's like each of these characters are going to be really special. And, look, for a game like this, it's a lot of it, again, is that vibe. It's that old school beat 'em up. And, you're only going to face so many enemies. You're going to face the bosses, different levels. It's not going to be a 30-hour thing. It's going to be, short and sweet. And I think that's where replayability, of course, comes in. Different difficulties, being able to play with friends, right? You can play up to 4 friends. So this is a, cooperative, experience or setting. And then also being able to play it with all of your favorite characters. Now, again, like you can go through with 2 of them at a time, but that's only a couple, and if you want to play, and if you specifically, not just like your team, if you want to play as everybody, you're going to have to play it several times. So I think replayability, I think, is very important for a Shredder's Revenge, for a Scott Pilgrim, for a game like this. And I think honestly, it starts with the roster. It starts with a fun factor. How do they feel to actually move around in the environment? Their move set, right? And they kind of have all of them have, base attacks and like the mega kind of thing that they are all able to do. It's a structure, but they each are kind of unique in their own way. So I think it's a game that's going to hopefully thrive. And I'm hoping for myself, again, it's kind of a more selfish video. I'm just talking about me. I don't want to just play it through once. I want to be able to play it several times, as maybe even all of these characters, right? And really try them out. And then, of course, you kind of pick your favorites and you kind of unlock, you figure it out in the game, and then you're able to try harder difficulties, stuff like that. So just really excited. Look, it's not a game that I think is going to change a ton of lives. And Metroid, I feel like, is a game that also has been coming for so long. That might actually even be more impactful. But I'm really almost just a very steady confidence. I also have a lot of confidence that this game is going to rock. But I'm just steady excitement. I'm really, really pumped to play this game. And it's one of the last, this and Metroid, one of the last 2 games that I'll be playing. New games, of course. It's not that I retire from playing games after they come out, but new games that are releasing. It's this and Metroid, $30, so it's not breaking the bank. This plus Metroid might break some banks, including my own, but we'll see. And so, yeah, that's why I'm getting the game. And, of course, I'll have videos out on the channel as we get closer, and then when the game is actually out. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.